The contributions were extremely rich. Now, Honorable Aissata, you are very lucky you've got your mom, who is 94 years old. That's a gem, gold. Take good care of her. My mother died at 94, at 54. We were very young, and she was young before she retired. I remember I used to go home to visit, and there's a day I did a lot of shopping the way I used to do. Then when I got home, I got to the house, and I'd forgotten that she had died. So with all the goodies I bought, I realized that I had some memory lapse. I cried like a baby and drove back to Nairobi. I took about 6 months before going home. Someone told me, my elder sister told me I was mourning. And that's why that happened. And I went through that for about 7 years. But she was young. I'll give you the story about my dad. And the Honorable Senator spoke about his own experiences. My father was a man of means. And when we took him to, when he was now having a lot of non-communicable diseases, diabetes, hypertension, we tried to secure him insurance. And we couldn't get any because he was old. But we could afford to take him to some of the best hospitals in the country, and we did. Now, and it's important that we are all here, because when we are speaking about older persons' issues, let us see ourselves in that. Let's wear their shoes. You spoke about advocacy, that how do we do this? I can't prescribe, but from some of the experiences that we've had, is that we have to be able to identify the needs and resources, because this is basically advocacy work, and then organize and mobilize. Be able to identify those who support the cause and mobilize them and organize to engage those that have the ability to make that change. And you are one of them, Parliament, in terms of making the laws. The second one is the executive arm of government. And in the executive arm of government, you just have to have good proposals. Identify some of the champions in the executive that can be sympathetic to your issue, the issues of older persons. But if they don't relate it to themselves, it may be a problem. I was doing some work for the UN Women in Kenya. I was designing a program document for them with a colleague from Sierra Leone, Dr. Fatoumata Cissé. And the work was financing for gender equality. And after I did the guidelines with Dr. Fatoumata, we passed it through. But one of the ministries that was the stumbling block, the super ministry, was the Ministry of Finance. They shut it down. They removed those guidelines that were giving women more power to access those resources. And we thought, now what do we do? We took them to Morocco and Rwanda. Morocco and Rwanda have been very successful with respect to gender mainstreaming, gender issues. But we took some of the people, the bureaucrats,